Hey guys, so I am back. I don't know what happened there, but I'm back. I'm not going to delete the last video because I think there was a lot of valuable information in there. But yeah, I'm going to wait for a couple of you guys to pop on. In the meantime, I just kind of want to, talk about the same point. Um, what I was talking about before, but I won't go on so much about the food. If you guys want to know, okay, I have, for those of you who are just seeing this video, I apologize. I'm Cerise Fairfax. Welcome to my channel. And this video is about 3 facts that you should know about the Dominican Republic. So I just wanted to let you know that I was on a live to air just before this and it got cut off. But now I am back and I am going to see something. Hold on 1 second. I want to make sure that the data is good and everything. I see a couple of you guys jumping on now. That's great. Thank you for coming back and joining me. So yes, there's 3 facts that you should know about the Dominican Republic. And before everything got cut off, hey Richard, thanks for joining me again. Before everything got cut off, I was talking about food here in the Dominican Republic. So yes, I was pretty much saying that instead of repeating myself in this video, what I'll do is I will clip the link for the first live to air in the description below. Then that way you can click on that, watch it first about when it comes to food. And so anyway, I'll just go on a little bit more with the food. And it's a very important lunchtime. It's a very, it's comida is food in Spanish. Very important time here in the Dominican Republic. And I would say if you're here to live, embrace it. If you're here to visit, respect it. And try not to be frustrated about it if you are driving and, going through the island and going from town to town. Just time your trip properly because lunchtime is here anytime between 11:30. That's when the food is ready and hot. The freshest food is ready and hot. Again, La Bandera, you can get anywhere from 125 pesos, which is $2.50 roughly right now. And you can also get it for like 350 if you get it at a nice restaurant served to you and stuff like that. But so yeah, lunchtime is a very, very important time here. Again, thank you guys for liking this video. And oh, you wondered what happened. Yes, I got to tell you. I went to go answer the door because the guy for the Colmado, he came, the corner store, he came, and then I wanted to show you guys what it's like to get a delivery and everything. And one thing led to the next, and I lost connection and tried to press resume. It wouldn't let me. So I finally stopped being stubborn and I started a brand new video. Okay. So let me see. I think I saw Colin Harder here. Hey, how you doing? Oh gosh, I got to tell you guys. So the fun facts that I want to, well, not only fun facts, but very interesting facts that I think are very interesting here. So the first fact, like I said, is lunchtime. There is a real lunchtime here and you have to respect it, go by it, enjoy it. I've learned to really embrace it. And I learned to really relax during that time. I think it's so important to have a moment in the day to be able to just woosa. Okay, the next fact that you should know about here is about money. Now, this is something a lot of people contact me and they're like, Cerise, what should I pay in? And especially Americans. It's not that you guys are egotistical. At first, I thought to myself, because Americans, they're like, well, come on, American dollars is the best. And at first, I was like, well, just because it's the best around most worlds, it doesn't mean it's the best here. And a lot of Americans couldn't believe that. But now that I know a lot of Americans, I know it's not something egotistical. I know it's just something logical. Because here, the currency rate is actually based upon the American dollar. No other currency. Like, well, for me, the 50 pesos is based for me on the American dollar. Like, mostly everything is either American or pesos. That's just what I've noticed, right? And so now let me give you a couple examples when you should really use pesos. Okay. If you are dealing with a moto concho, if you are dealing with like going to a Dominican restaurant, anything Dominican, always give them pesos if you can. The reason why is, and I'm going to give you an example when you don't need to, okay? Because not always do you need to give them pesos, especially if it has something to do with business, but I'm going to get to that in a second. So, the reason why, if you're getting a service that doesn't really cost a lot of money, then it's better for them to have that cash in hand, like 1,000 pesos, 500 pesos, instead of giving them $10, because 500 pesos is the equivalent, give or take a few cents, pesos, um, $10. A lot of Americans think that, or even Canadians, okay? Now, here's an interesting point. Canadians even think that American dollars are boss here as well. And that's very interesting as well, because even Canadians will say to me, Cerise, what should I do? Do I have to get my money switched over to American and then get it switched to Western Union? But you don't have to do that if you're using your card in the bank machine. If you come with, a couple of Canadian bucks, when you get here, you can cash it at Caribbean Express, at Western Union. You can even cash it on the street at a couple of places that are legal. You can, get your cambio, like your change. You can change your money. So you don't need your American dollars. When you use your bank card here, and you're Canadian or American, you can just put your card right into the bank and pesos comes out. So you do need to know the exchange. Right now, I know the exchange off the top of my head. So like, let's say I want $100, right? I put in 5,000 pesos. 5,000 pesos is $100, the equivalent to American bucks, right? And that's just pretty much it. Now, when you are getting a service done, you do want to pay them in pesos, especially if the service is not an expensive price. And the reason why is because it's just makes so much sense. They have to go stand in line somewhere to exchange it. And it's very difficult for them to do that because it's time, energy, and also, again, during lunchtime is usually when people do have their free time. And if they go to Caribbean Express to change their money at that time, there's going to be a huge lineup, right? And the huge lineup is for two reasons. That's when most people have time to go do something, lunchtime. And the other reason is because Caribbean Express, they follow the lunchtime hours, and so they have less employees at that time. Just like the banks in Canada, actually, I can compare it to that. So if you guys know what I mean, like back in the day in the banks, like there's less tellers at lunchtime. Okay, so, oh, I got something in my eye. So, money. That's what you want to really focus on. You want to have some pesos. So as soon as you get off the plane, if you don't have a lot of money, I always suggest to people, listen, at the airport, it's very expensive to convert your money. When I first got here, what I did was the person that dealt with me when I first got here, the Airbnb, she said to me, she said, listen, shouts out to Andrea. She was so knowledgeable. And she said to me, okay, you know what? If you need any pesos at the airport, then, get your money there. But if not, then I can get you money in the street. And she's the one that taught me that. So what happened was I just cashed like $50 Canadian, and I got my pesos. And then when I got into her vehicle, she was taking me to the Airbnb. She said, "Do you need to cash more money?" And I said, "Yes." And then we just went and cashed it right on the street. And I trusted her. Like we just pulled over, and some guy leaned in the car, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, is this illegal? Like, am I with a gangster?" Yeah, sisterhood. But it wasn't like that. And now most of those guys are so cool. There's one guy that's over by the small playero, and his name is Santana. No, Santiago. Santiago exchanges money. Tell him I sent you. He's a great guy, awesome smile. Everybody knows him right here in El Bate in Sosua. He exchanges money right on the corner of the street. He's not trying to rip anyone off. He always knows the currency rate, and he's always pretty good at what he does. And there's no counterfeit bills. You do not have to worry. Santiago. And he is right at the you can just tell your motor control driver or whoever's taking you there, Pequeña Playero. small Playero, and that's the small supermarket. There's a Playero is the large supermarket, international supermarket, where you can buy a lot of things, like a lot of different cheeses and everything. So they have a smaller one that's just a little bit before the beach, and that's where Santiago gives the change for money. Okay, so yes, I mean you don't need to exchange at the airport if you don't have to. You just want to make sure. I always tell everyone have enough for your cab and have enough to maybe buy yourself a drink as soon as you exit the airport, a water, a juice, or whatever. You know, at least a little bucks in your hand. You know, little pesos in your hand, so you know that you are good and you have a couple of bucks. But when you get here, that's when you really want to get converted. My driver, I have drivers. I don't do any airport pickup, drop off. My drivers get paid for that. I know a lot of people, you know, they know that now. Before you guys thought I'd do it, I don't. And it's 25 bucks from Sosua. I mean, sorry, from the airport here to Sosua. And, it's a great deal. And so like, you just have to make sure you have your 25 bucks on you. Now you can pay, 1,500, no, 1,250 pesos, right? So if you exchange it for pesos, you can pay in pesos. Now, when it comes to large purchases, now let me give you an example. Rent. Rent is very different. A lot of landlords do want to be paid in American dollars. And if you choose that you want to pay in pesos because you live here and you don't want to always have to go get American dollars all the time, then you have to come up with that agreement with your landlord. And I would say, you know, get to know your landlord first. Don't try to hassle them too much, especially if you're already getting a good deal on rent. Just say to them, all right, you know, and give them the American the first month. Get to know them and then be like, hey, you know what? Do you mind if I pay you in pesos? Now, at first, they will say to you, I don't mind, but it has to be the exchange for the American currency, right? So let's say the rent is $500, then that means they would have to pay 25,000 pesos, more or less, right? If the currency goes up, like if it does well for America, then that means the rent is going to go past 25,000 pesos the next month, right? Because it's based on the American dollar, if you get what I mean. So that's exactly what a lot of people will do when they get here. They're like, they just want to pay in pesos. So they don't mind if it goes up. It really doesn't fluctuate like that at all. So you don't have to worry. It really hasn't fluctuated since I've been here. Only when things first went crazy, you know, last year. It went down by a couple of pesos. And it made a difference when I withdrew money from the bank. And I could see the exchange difference, right? So, but overall, it doesn't flip that much, too much at all. So you don't have to worry unless there's some kind of something going on in the world, you know? Um, so yes, when you're making big purchases, so let's say you decide you're going to buy, yeah, rent. Let me get back to rent, okay? Because this is also very important. You can also get to know your landlord within the second month, because the first month they see that they like you. You see that you like them. You guys are getting along. Everything's cool. You can tell them, like ask them, can I just pay 500 a month? Never mind about the currency. Just flat out pay you 25,000 pesos a month. They will say yes once they realize that you're a good client, a wonderful tenant. They had you for like even a couple of weeks. Once, if you, depending on how much you know them, it could even happen the first day you move in or even before you get there. I'm just saying that they work with you. But what I'm saying is, if you get a vibe like they're not going to work with you, and you know, no, they're adamant about it, then just wait for about a month, just so they can see what you're all about before they start making promises with you, especially landlords. Now, when it comes to buying a car, I don't really know, but I can only compare it to a motorcycle because I did buy a motorcycle here. And my payments were in pesos and the purchase was in pesos. So I paid pesos every month, and it wasn't compared to the American dollar at all. It was just how much I had to pay every month. And that was it. And I got the motorcycle so I could build my credit here. And motorcycles, by the way, side note, motorcycles are not expensive here. They're really not expensive here. And they're wonderful and they're easy to fix. Yeah, really easy to fix. I'm going to be bringing out a video about motorcycles and stuff like that, and also other things on my list, just to let you guys know about some of the new laws that are going on right now. Okay, so when it comes to money, yes, if it's a high purchase, most people they want like a high end purchase. Most people they want it in American dollars, and that's it. But sometimes not. If you're buying a home here, it could be priced in pesos. Okay, now you can always pay. If it's priced in pesos, you can definitely pay American dollars if it's like a house. It doesn't matter. I'm just talking about a low income like a low income purchase. I was gonna not a low income purchase, but like a little purchase. You know what I mean? Just a little bit of money. You don't want to be giving out American dollars or Canadian dollars. You want to make sure you have those pesos on hand. Let me say hi to a few of you guys before I go on to the next topic. Look at my eyebrows, guys. I went for microblading. They're still peeling. All right. We have Jody in La Casa. Eva, hi again. Hey. Okay, Colin. Yep. Jody. Richard. I always use pesos. Yes, very smart. Derek Williams. Hola, Cerise. Canada. Hola, Canada. Richard, I want to date you. Oh, Richard. Gracias. And Richard says the airport is the worst place to exchange your money. Absolutely, absolutely. That's very expensive, overpriced, but you do want to make sure you are not worried about a little bit of money, because in Canada I wasn't able to get the Dominican pesos before I came here. So you do want to make sure, if you can't do that, don't rely on just your currency, because you don't know if you're going to pull over on the side of the road and you want to eat at a cafeteria, or you just want to experience something, because you can do that as soon as you get off the airplane if you are adventurous like that. I remember when I first got here 3 years ago, and I thought my family was going to be able to come a lot more frequently, and they weren't able to, because my son at the time, he was 23, and my daughter, like my family, they weren't going to upheaval everything. They were just starting their lives as well. So when I first got here, I was like, side note, sorry guys, my mind just went off. July 16th, I will be here for 3 years, and I never went back home. So it's a very special time for me. Very special time for me, and I want to share that with you guys. I've never really gave my story. I've only shared about here. And so, oh, look at the wind. So beautiful. The universe is agreeing with me. So I want to share my story. I want my son to ask me some questions, because, when I got here, we weren't expecting me to never leave, and he's going to be coming here. So, not anytime soon, Christmas time, but we're going to do like a live to air for July 16th. He's in Canada. Okay, so I forgot what I was saying now. But in any case, yes. Oh, that's what I was saying to my son. 3 years ago, I was like, listen, you know what? His name's Tyree. And I was like, you know what, T? I call him T. I was like, T, you know what? I would encourage you to get to the airport. You don't need to have money on you. Just have your bank card, right? You don't need a lot of money, any types of traveler's checks, nothing like that. Have your bank card, your wallet, and, exchange a couple of bucks and walk out of the airport, go all the way down to the airport, past the toll entrance, and take the bus. The bus goes right by. And I know I do airport pickup drop off, but it's not like I'm making the money on it. Like the money goes towards the drivers, and some of the drivers, they'll give me like $5 off each header or whatever. But I don't even know what that money is right now. Sometimes they'll call me up and they'll be like, "Hey, Cerise, like I have 1,000 pesos for you." And I'll be like, "Oh, thank you." At other times I've had to be like, hey, I thought we had a commission deal. And then they're like, yeah, 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 yeah. And it just gets to the point now where I'm like, yo, I don't do it for that. What am I going to do? $5 from you guys? No, I'd rather do it. Obviously it's good to make money off my promotion and my commission as well. So when they offer me the money, that's awesome. 20 bucks here, 20 bucks there. That's amazing. I definitely will put that into, like, something good. Like, I'm looking at Noche. I'll take it Noche and get her groomed, stuff like that. But that's not why I do it. That is, I don't even talk about that because I don't even know what drivers owe me anything right now. I don't have any count of anything. And they do, and they even forget because they know they can, right? And that's the reality of it. So the reality of it is you guys are getting a really good drive. They're getting customers, they are working, and they're getting money in their pocket, and you guys are getting good deals as well, not only a good driver. But that is that service that I provide, not for an income for myself, and that's the honesty in it. And so I told my son, and I'm telling you guys this too, take the bus. If you only have a knapsack, if you only have a carry-on, take the bus. Go out of the airport, go straight down the lane. It's like modern. There's a toll booth thing, for parking for cars going in and out. Keep walking, keep walking. And once you get out to the street, if you want to go to Sosua, you're going to make a left-hand turn. You're going to go left. And if you want to go to Plata City, Playa Dorada, anything like that, you're going to go right. That's it. So if you want to go right, you stay on the side of the road that the airport's on, and you get on the bus. It's a guagua. I have a video about it. I'm pretty sure other vloggers do as well. It looks like a white VW. Like, you remember Scooby-Doo bands from back in the day? Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? That kind of looks like that. And it's usually white, and they normally have curtains in the window. And a guy is hanging out the side as they stop. Now, as of course, if you're standing right there at the airport, they will know that you're standing there with your bag, and the guy will open up the door and he'll look at you and be like, and you just say yes. Now, it shouldn't cost any more than 25 pesos, which is 50 cents. You just give them 25 pesos. It's a coin, 25 pesos. You want to give them a tip? Give them 50 pesos. It's a buck, right? And it's not hard at all. You can take the guagua, and I would encourage it. Like, it's amazing. Now, again, if you are used to motorcycles and you've been on the back of a motorcycle and you have a motorcycle helmet and stuff like that, you can go the same direction right out there, and on that road, you can just stop a motor concho, right? Usually they're parked, or usually like there's like a row of guys. Don't just take any person on a bike. Especially if you're a lady, don't just pull over any man with a motorcycle. That's not how it goes. There's usually, could you imagine? Well, Cerise said I could. Like, oh, no, I didn't. This is what I'm saying. There's usually a group of motoconchos. Always go with motoconchos from the group, okay? Unless they have like a shirt on that says that they're a motoconcho, moto taxi, and then they will actually pull over and they will say to you, moto? And you can just say yes. And then if you do want to take a moto from the airport to Sosua or to Puerto Plata, you can do that. I'm always on moto. For me, it's not too much of a far distance. For some people, it's a little bit much. And a lot of people are like, what? You take moto concho to the airport from Sosua? And I'm like, yeah. And it's really only like 10 minutes, and they're like, oh. And then I'm like, I take it right to Puerto Plata. I've taken moto to Santiago before. 2 hours away. So it's only a motorcycle, right? But I guess most people get scared and they think, oh no, especially if they're not motorcycle people. But motorcycles are moto concho, two different words. Moto, it means motorcycle. Concho means driver type of thing. So moto driver, moto taxi. And that you can grab one of those. Or your third option from the airport, if you want to save money, is the public car. Okay? Now, the public car is like Uber Pool. And that as well, it just looks like a taxi. It has on top of the roof the sign, and it will say Puerto Plata if it's going to Puerto Plata. It will say Sosua if it's going to Sosua. And remember, if you're going to Sosua, then you don't want to be on the same side of the road as the airport. You want to cross over. And once you cross over, you can either make your way to a bus stop or whatever, or you can just stand and wait again for the guagua to go by, or for a moto taxi to go by, or the public car, and you will see the public car right away. You want to look again for on top, okay? And it will say Sosua on it or whatever. You just flag it down. You get in and you pay your 50 pesos. It's like, uh, that's like a buck, right? So it's a little bit more expensive than the guagua, the bus, but it's like Uber Pool. So there's like 4 people in it, right? So, well, sometimes they pack a lot more in it. Here's a little tip. If you like, what you can do is just pay an extra for an extra seat, especially if you have your suitcase and stuff like that. A lot of the times by the airport, there's not too many people in the cars because they're on their way back from making a drop in Puerto Plata. But some people, sometimes during work hours, there are a lot of people in the cars because they're on their way to Sosua to work. Okay, so if it's early in the morning, people are on their way to Sosua to work. So the chances are the public car is going to be packed. And if you do find one empty, you just tell them, say, hey, I want to pay like, 200 pesos for the whole car. And he'll be like, okay, or you just say 300 pesos, that's $6 for the whole car, right? And you can do that. And I'm telling you how you can save money here and how you can also use the services here, and you don't need airport pickup drop off. Now, if you do want airport pickup drop off, then you can contact me and I'll get you a good deal, like I said, and I'll set you up with a driver that speaks English and Spanish if you want to practice your Spanish on them. I always love practicing my Spanish, and I love practicing my Spanish on my next topic. So let me get to the next topic now. So far, the first topic was comida, lunch hour. Okay, very important here. Just like Leave It to Beaver. Back in the days, like Leave It to Beaver. Very special, just like that. Family oriented, people taking lunch off, stores closing for a couple of hours, okay? Second point, like I just said, money. If it's something that is very like a service, you want to make sure you pay in pesos. Not only is it better for you, better for them, but it's also respect. Oh, there's one more point I want to make about that, because you can pay in dollars at places like my some of my favorite restaurants. Like oh my gosh, let me just give you one, like Mojitos and Cabarete. I'm pretty sure Gorditos, I don't know. Flip Flop here in Sosua. Where else? Goddess Lounge in Cabarete. Now, not all restaurants, when they accept American money and Canadian money, not all restaurants, all the workers, all the girls know the exchange of the day. So that means they have to go on their cell phone, pull up the app, do the calculation, and they always don't know how to do the calculation either. And most times I have seen a lot of these waiters and waitresses rip themselves off because they're a little shy to say they don't know how to do the exchange, and they end up getting less money. And it's really sad too, because they have to pay that money back, and most times they've only are making like 500 pesos a day for it, 5 to 8 hour shift, and 500 pesos a day is $10. I'm going to get to that. That's going to be my next point, actually. So yeah, so I just want to say, when it comes to the money, make sure you guys have yourself on point. Again, you can exchange it at Caribbean Express, Western Union. You can also exchange it right here on the corner by Pequeña Playero, and ask for Santiago. And again, you may be a little freaked out just exchanging money in the street. Oh, I know of another place I'll get to in a second, but you may be freaked out just exchanging money in the street, like with no passport or anything like that. But don't worry about that. Just, don't go and exchange $1,000. Just exchange like, $50, $20, $100, and that's it, $100 bill. And he'll give you 5,000 pesos, which is, 5, 1,000 pesos. right? 5 of them. 1,000 pesos, mil pesos is like saying $20. So he'll give you five $20, but it's in pesos. Okay. So just keep it real. Now, if you want to really exchange a lot of money and you want a really good deal and you don't want to go stand in the bank, oh, yeah, banks do it as well. You don't want to stand in the bank. You don't want to stand in Caribbean Express. You don't want to go to like Western Union. Then there is a place across from King's Night Restaurant Nightclub. It's right on the corner, right there by the Tienda. It's a tiny little place. You'll see like a cigar shop, I think it is, on the corner. Keep walking down, and if you get to the like the Chinese Tienda, the Chinese store, the big store with like all the clothing and everything, you went too far. If you blink, you could miss it. That's why I'm trying to give you the perfect example. You could blink and miss it. Like it's just a little sliver. It's just a little door. When you go in, you have to show your passport, your ID, and he gives you a really good deal. Okay, that's a good little secret that you guys should really tap into. As far as I know, it's a good deal because my motor concho goes there, and my motor concho is Dominican, and he will not go anywhere else to exchange money except for the places that are Dominican owned, like little shops like that. And there's another one in Cabarete as well, across from the beach. I forget the name. Panaderia Dick. It's like it's called the bakery, bread bakery called Dick. It's right across the street from that. Sorry, guys, I'm still working on my carniceria, right? That means butcher, and pescaderia, which is like a place where you buy fish, and then also the bakery. And so that's a hard one for me. Okay, anyway, on to my other point. Before I go on to my other point, let me look at some messages here quickly. Look at my eyebrows. Every time put my glasses on, I can see my eyebrows. Microblading, look, they're coming off, but they'll be better. So, hey, Brooklyn, I think that says Brooklyn, blinks. I will be there Thursday, and I always come home with at least 5,000 pesos. So I have, oh, when you come back, there we go. Oh my gosh, genius. That's smart. Maynor says, hi, Cerise. Hi. Richard says, how does credit work there compared to America? Don't really have credit here, but there are some people that can get credit, like, like, oh, like the motorcycle that I got, right? So I bought it on, like, I financed it, and I put down $400. The motorcycle was, I forget the price, but there was four payments or four payments of $317 and a deposit of $400. They gave it to me in pesos. I mean, I gave it to them in pesos, and they gave me the price in pesos. But in my head, I still needed to know the roundabout price, right, of what it would cost in American dollars. So yeah, so that was it. They took my identification. My friend signed for me, like a co-signer, very much like how it would be in Canada. And she had a restaurant, so she had to have something like Monopoly, something in good credit as well, to be able to sign for me. And that was it. They gave me the motorcycle that day, and they took a copy of my passport. They took the deposit. They took a copy of my friend's cedula. Cedula is a birth certificate, and that was it. We were good to go. It was quite easy, quite easy. And so basically that's how it works. And now I have good credit here. I think I should. I didn't keep the motorcycle. And CEO MO Cerise, two things. Missed your old intro, and do any place serve baked fish? Oh yes, you missed that old intro. Oh, I heard it the other day on one of my videos, and I was like, oh, that was a long intro, but I love the song every single day. That was a really good song. And baked fish. Oh my gosh, there is a place I was just saying in the first video that I did that got cut out. Oh my gosh, I gotta say. Oh wait, what intro were you talking about? My old intro, right? Yeah, old intro. I thought you meant the intro for the other video. Okay. Um, okay, so this place where I live right here in Los Charamicos, this place is across the street from there. If you know where Caribe Tours is on Route 5, just before you hit Albate, on the right hand side, there is a place, a fish place. And you just go in there, tell them I sent you. Tell them Rubia that did a video. Rubia means blondie. Just say Rubia, that did a video. And they don't speak a lot of English, but they do have some people on staff that do every now and again. But you can just point and tell them what you want because it's a fish, like it's a seafood restaurant. They also have menus. It's amazing prices, very fresh, and they make it for you right there on the spot. So yeah, baked. Oh, baked. Maybe not baked. No, that's actually a good question. They call it vapor. It's kind of like baked, It is. But that's a very good question. I haven't had anything baked since I've been here. Oh no, I stand corrected. One time I baked while I was here. I haven't even taken a bath. So another thing, there's not a lot of places with bathtubs here. But I digress, guys. I do want to get to the last point because it's probably one of my favorite points. Aside from the money and aside from the comida, like the lunchtime is a really good point for me. I love that one too. And Artie, hey Artie, how are you? Artie, congratulations on being, oh my gosh, one of the best people here. I met him in the street. I didn't even know who Artie was. And Artie comes up to me and he's like, hi, Cerise. Now, I was thinking Artie was probably about 70 years old. The way that he told me he needs someone to take care of him 4 days a week. Remember, you guys might know Artie. And I was like, okay, I saw this cat and he's about 45 years old. And, but he's a lot like a lot of you guys coming down here, a little bit injured, war vets and stuff of that nature. So yeah, some of you guys do want to make sure if you have someone at your house cooking and cleaning for you 4 days a week, why not? Especially if it's economical. So, hey, Artie, sorry for talking all your business there, brah. But, everyone knows. Because you're so lovely, always telling us on here. Okay, so Jay, laugh out loud. I miss her old intro. Aw. Richard, I need to go and talk to my family. Okay, Richard. Mwah. Is your family from here, or do you mean you have to go and talk to your family? Whichever it is, have a wonderful day if you're leaving. Maynor says, I called you through WhatsApp, girl. Oh, yes. You guys, calling, I rarely answer calls. I apologize about that, but it's usually I'm so busy from the moment I open my eyes in the morning. I have my cell phone in my hand, even before I get up out of bed to brush my teeth and wash my hair and put my coffee on. And, and then I get my shower and then bam, I'm on my laptop. And if I'm not running out doing a whole bunch of stuff, as you guys probably noticed, I haven't been doing any videos of apartments lately. It's because I've been so busy. I've even connected with a couple of real estate agents, and I'm going to be sending you guys over to them. So when you guys do message me, I'm going to have so many brand new listings for you guys, not just stuff that I've hustled and looked for and everything, but other people that know that I'm a serious person when it comes to helping you guys out and finding a real good place here. Other real estate agents that have heard of me, know of me, I've connected with. I've already sent a few clients to one and another one. It's just like I have one in Sosua and I have one in Cabarete right now. And I just feel really good about that, So I'm so busy that now I don't have to let the real estate go. So I will just and what I do is I introduce you guys to this person, to the real estate agent. I make sure you're in good hands, and you just tell them exactly what you're looking for, what income you have and what you're working with, and bam, what area you're looking for, and we're good. And if you guys need any more help after that, you just contact me because I'm always here. But if it's a phone call, you guys leave a voice note or just text on WhatsApp. I am about 3 days behind right now, about 72 hours behind on looking at my WhatsApp. So I just want to say, if you guys call, please don't take it personally. I don't answer that cell phone, unless it's, of course, a family member, right? It's calling from Toronto or something like that. But yeah, aside from that, WhatsApp. And when you do leave me a voice note, I mean, if you feel comfortable leaving a voice note, don't worry about leaving a long voice note. Be as detailed as possible, because then I know exactly what you want. Or if you're leaving a text, leave it all in one text, like a letter, so I can just forward that right over to the agent that will be working with you, or the landlord that will be working with you. And then that way it'd be so much easier for everyone. And then that way, while you're on WhatsApp, if I happen to know a place off the top of my head, because I still will be working with my Dominican landlords and everything like that. And if I happen to know a place off the top of my head, I will definitely send you guys, like the video of it if I already did a video of it, or new photos of it if I have new photos of it. I don't do listings. I don't have listings. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not interested in being a real estate agent. I'm so interested in making sure that you guys are getting places here that's within your budget and within your preferences. Some of you guys don't have a budget, some of you guys do. And I do want to say just quickly right now, before I rail off onto this topic, and I shouldn't be talking about all this, but the cost of living is going up here big time. A tube of toothpaste is even way more expensive by like 30 pesos. That's 60 cents added on. And there's like everything going up. Everything is going up. A lock for a bike, for a moto, last year was 800 pesos. That's 16 bucks. The other day, I gifted one to my moto concho, and it was 1,200. So that's like, I guess, 24 bucks, roughly, and wait, yeah, right. So yeah, the price is going up. A couple of you guys are hitting me up for $200 studios. I don't have those any longer right now. Those ones are all taken. I have one that's available for 350 coming up in September, possibly August. But aside, and it's just being renovated. But that's one. And there's another one that I know that's of 350, but it's not here in this area. So yeah, guys, like the prices are really changing. Hold on one second, guys. I'm just going to top up my drink here. And I do want to get to my next point, because my next point is something where it touches my heart. And I just really want to talk to you guys about it, because it's quite important. And I want to share it. All right. So let me see. Facts. Tell them about your leg burns from the motorcycles. Those things are very dangerous. Many Dominican people are killed. Yes, so we have something here that it's not a joke, but it's so common that it's become something like a joke. And we just say it's called a Dominican tattoo. And so you have to be very careful. Always be very conscious of what side you are getting on the motorcycle. I I didn't know about motorcycles before I came here. I was never on one before. I was on a Vespa, which is comparable to like what they call here a Pasola. But that was in Toronto, and I was never on a motorcycle before, on the back of a motorcycle ever. When I came here, I was just like a fish in water. Bam, I was just on it. And I love it. It's my favorite form of transportation. But I do have a couple of burns, Dominican tattoos. One was so bad that I actually had to like get ointment for it, and it took over a month to heal. So you do want to be careful because it's just the exhaust. You want to make sure the exhaust is on the same side on every bike. So it's not like you have to look for the exhaust every time, right? You just know if you'll be getting on the proper side of the bike, and that's the left side of the bike. You get on the left side and you swing your leg over and you put it right on the leg cradle, like the leg step. Okay, and you'll be good. If there's no leg steps, there are some times where there's no leg steps. Like for some motor conchos, there were some nights where I was leaving Bate and I was coming to Los Charamicos, and some of the guys with just some beat up bikes, you got to kind of chance it and always wear your helmet when you're chancing it, and so you have to spread your legs out and make sure that you just spread them out, but it's not like you spread them out and you're going to fall off the bike. You just leave your legs out a little bit. And then it's easy because the wind between your legs help to keep your legs spread open and stuff like that. Little tricks that I've learned here. But, yes, you do want to be very careful with that. Be very careful in the roads with motor conchos. A lot of people do die here. I've actually heard of a few motorcycle accidents here since I've been here. And not just people accidents, but people literally dying. Young people, older people, and it's not always because they are reckless. Most times the young boys, yes, they are reckless. But any case, I want to get to my third point, but before I do, I just want to read some of the messages here. Yes, old song, but you use... Okay, Maynard, Dano, hey Dano. How are you? It was nice to meet you last week. It was so nice to meet you too, Dano. Richard, I'm a 70-year-old perfect. Oh, you are a 70-year-old perfect disabled veteran. That's awesome. See, come on down. And you meant your Dominican family, so you got to come down and say hi to your family. David Rich, yep. I've even noticed prices going up. I'm still healing from my Dominican tattoo. So David Rich in La Casa. Oh, David Rich. I got to tell you, he went on his bike first time. Second time he was on, he got a burn. I think it was the first or second time, David. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but when he sent me the photos, I was like, oh, but you got broken, buddy. And then Richard says, I got a tattoo in Dominican Republic and I was fine. Yep, the Dominican Republic tattoo. So guys, my third topic, okay? First, like I said, the first was, lunchtime. Second, money. The third topic is service here. Now, I have a few scenarios and I don't want to beat anyone up. Some of you may notice that you are in some of these stories, and it's not to diminish your character. I appreciate how you do things, but I look at things a little differently. So I'm going to use some of these stories as examples. Okay. So here in the Dominican Republic, I notice a lot of foreigners complain about the service. They feel that the service is slow. They feel that the service isn't friendly. They feel that, they're not being taken care of. Not always, at times. Now, I have gotten around that, and I've realized that, well, yeah, sometimes the service is slow because not always is the store busy or the restaurant busy. And if it is busy, they're probably busy at that moment, and so the person needs to get to you in time. Okay, so let me give you a few scenarios. The grocery store. You ask anyone in the grocery store, Superpola, Playero for something, they're going to get it lickety split immediately. They're not going to be slow. There's no slow service there at all. It is a fast-paced place. Things are moving very quickly and people are moving quickly. If someone is moving slow, it's usually the girls behind the cosmetic counter, because not too many people are buying things at the cosmetic counter. And I find that sometimes I'll go to the cosmetic counter and I'll be like, can you hand me that, please? And they'll be like, and they'll look at it. And I figured that out too. They're not just looking at it like, whatever. They're taking it out. They're looking at it. They want to check it out for me. They're interested also in what I'm buying as a foreigner. And she may talk to her friend, her coworker, as she's, showing me the product. She'll show it to her friend first. Her friend might say, what is it? What does she want? She'll show her before she shows me. I've gotten used to that. They're just curious. And so instead of just sitting there waiting for my product, I talk and I'm like, is it good? And I practice my Spanish and I'll be like, is it a good product? And they'll look at me and they'll go, no sé. No say. And then they look at the price and they'll tell me the price. And it may take a lot of seconds before I get the product in my hand. But I love that now. In Canada, it was completely different. Like, I go to Shoppers Drug Mart, the cosmetic counter, and I'm like, I want to ask them questions. I want to inquire more. And they're just serving this person, that person. And they're like, yeah, hold on one second. And then you end up buying a product that's not really worth it, you know? So these ladies, they work a little slower at the cosmetic counter. That's the only place in Playero that I noticed that. But like the fish counter, the butcher, everything is on point in the grocery stores. Okay, so you're not going to find slow service there. You may find slow service at. I'm trying to think right now. Oh, I don't know. Sometimes we're at a Norte. Sometimes that's the electrical place where you pay your electricity bill. But this is what I figured out, a few things about the slow service. Talk to the girls. But let me give you an example with a restaurant or a bar. Okay? You go into a restaurant or a bar, and I have spoken to many foreigners, and they're like, oh my gosh, look, my drink is finished, and they're not even coming to the table and asking me for a refill. That's not their culture. And I've spoken to many girls over and over again, Dominican girls, Haitian girls here, and they said to me they just don't feel comfortable going over and asking you constantly if you want more alcohol, if you want more food, or they will say to you, "Que más?" or "Tu quieres más?" You know, you want more, but they're not going to come over to you as soon as they see that you have this much left in your bottle. They have a way here of calling people over, right? And you have to maybe you have to call your waitress over a few times until she gets to know you. Let me give you an example. Back in the day in Canada, people used to go, snap, waiter, waiter, and all of a sudden that became rude, right? And then waiters became more attentive because they didn't want to be snapped at. I'm only thinking and guessing that. And so, of course, with consumption of wherever, America, Canada, things move at a faster pace. Here, they don't do, but they have something in it like that. And you go, and they'll turn around and they'll go, and you hold your beer up. You hold your whatever up, your glass. If you want more milk, if you want more water, you hold it up and they go, and they'll get it immediately. There's an art to it, a very important art to it. And that's how you have to do it. I had one person come up to me and he said, you know what? I'm going to go around and I'm going to teach everybody how to serve right, because none of these Dominicans know how to serve right in their restaurants. They're slow and they're nasty. And I'm like, wow, okay, no, that's not true. Because I live in a Dominican neighborhood and they're very friendly and they're methodical. They move at a very nice pace and they're not trying to rush things and give it to you. They make sure if they are putting in the rice, they're not just going plop, plop, plop. They're scooping it in, and they cook that food with their love. And so we have to be very careful not to be frustrated with them. Now, many of the girls, not only that they tell me that they don't want to be bothering anyone, right? That it's just not their culture, right? But this one guy, he got mad at one of the girls and he had her fired. And I had her hired on somewhere else as a maid. She was working at a bar and she was very rude to him, and sometimes she can be rude. But I think she's just that attitude. She has that attitude, right? And so he complained to management and had her fired. Now, I don't complain and have people fired. I had an issue with one of the servers at one of the bars that I like to go to. She was holding her hand out for a tip before time, and I thought it was disrespectful, and I told her she had to go back, get my drink, come back, and then you get your tip. So I was a little sour about that and really sore about that, and I shared that with this person, and this person said to me, well, why don't you just get her fired? Like, why didn't you just talk to the owner? The owner will fire her for you like that. And I'm thinking to myself, holy macro, I feel bad. Not even for 3 days, I didn't allow her to serve me. I was just like, no, I don't want her to serve me. She was disrespectful. But then we made up, I guess you can say, because I smiled at her. I didn't feel comfortable holding that malice in my heart. I just didn't feel comfortable trying to correct someone else when I'm not perfect at all. I don't want to take a log, a speck out of someone else's eye, and I might have a log in mine. You know what I mean? So I wasn't going to get her fired. My gosh, she works for her tips. My gosh, where was she going to get another job? This guy actually said, now that woman can go on the street and prostitute. That's what he said. And I was like, oh, no, she doesn't have to. I got her a job as a maid. And I couldn't believe it, because these ladies, even if they're rude, you don't know if they're going on, like they may be going through their menstrual cycle. You don't know if they are worried about their rent. You don't know if their child is sick and they can't get off work. You know, they work 6 days a week, and they work sometimes a lot of hours, and sometimes they do need to have a little rest because they're working for very little. Sometimes there is no incentive for them at all. So, are they going to, rush around and serve everyone? I mean, of course, it's their job, and they're not moving too slowly, but they're moving at their culture's pace. Now, there are a few American restaurants here and Canadian restaurants that have trained their employees in a way where they train them to serve the North American or German or wherever the world, Europe, the way that we are accustomed to being served. So, like for instance, I know I can just say a couple of people off the top of my head where I go to. They will come up to me and they will say, "Do you want a drink?" And so you can go to those places. I can remember one off the top of my head. Actually, I'm supposed to be there today for bingo, but I decided to stay home because I have a lot of work to do after this live to air, and I'm also going to have a little barbecue. But Jolly Rogers, I was there over 2 years ago, and I'm going to be going there again, and I will do bingo, and I'll show you guys what bingo is like. But Jolly Rogers, the girls were so, very, very attentive. Would you like another drink? Also, Jesse's on Pedro Clasante. Would you like another drink? They're on it. Where else? Oh, off the top of my head, I can't really remember. Well, Flip Flop, obviously, they asked me, Cerise, would you like another drink? And Zanzibar. But there's a few people where you have to get their attention, and you just say, oh, more. Now, there's another trick around this too. If you really do want them to look at you and be like, yeah, that person does need a drink right now, right? And they know it, you buy two at one time. And especially if the place is busy, don't buy just one, especially if, okay, let me give you a real good example. Um, Sometimes on a really cold day, sometimes on a really hot day, I like to have a really cold beer. Okay. Cold, cold, cold. Or like a cold, cold water. Okay. So I will arrive at the bar. If I know it's a slow bar, I order two on the spot right there. Right. And I will say, Amor, I want one right now. When you see my drink getting low, bring me over my other one. Doesn't that fix everything? That is genius. I don't know where I came up with that one. Right? I guess waiting for my beer for a long time on a hot day. But yeah, I mean, some people, they get angry and they walk up to the bar and they're like, where's my drink? And I've done that times a couple of years ago myself. Where's my drink? Like, come on now. Like, especially if I ordered a daiquiri and I really want a cold drink. So now, if I want a daiquiri, as soon as I arrive somewhere, I don't order the daiquiri as my first drink. I will order something else, like a water, a bubbly water, like a Canada Dry, or I'll order a beer, or I'll order, a glass of wine or something, because it will take a moment at certain restaurants for the daiquiri to be made, especially if there's a lot of people in the restaurant, because not everyone knows how to make the daiquiris. Anyway, that's my thing. You got to learn how to get around the service. Do not get angry. Do not get mad. If you're standing in the lineup, like let's say at Delancer to go pay your internet bill and you're waiting, make sure you have your cell phone topped up on your data. And just go on Facebook or just get some work done if you own your own business. Or, check out some funny videos on YouTube. Catch up on my videos. By the way, guys, thanks for subscribing and hitting that like button. I really appreciate it when you guys do that. But yeah, get some earbuds and, listen to some videos in line, motivational videos, or listen to some videos on, how to. You can really, oh, here's a genius one, learn how to do a new language on Duolingo while you're on your cell phone. Practice your Spanish. There's so many things that you can do while you're waiting for the service that, you're about to get. And I know it can be frustrating for a few people that just want to get things done, but you're going to have to time it the way that it's timed here. Don't get angry. Don't try to get people fired. These women work so hard. No woman should have to go on the street and sell herself when she's usually a bartender just because she had one bad day or even 5 bad days. Speak to the manager about it and let the manager give her a warning. But us, foreigners here, we have more power in some foreign bars than what is really fair, Like, my gosh, I don't know. When I saw her, she was sad, she was lonely, and she was walking along the street, and this person said to me, "Oh, look, look." And I said, "What?" And I'm sorry, person, I love you, but I am keeping it real. And when you and I spoke about it, I already told you I got her a new job. So this is nothing against you, and I'm not saying your name. And I would never say your name to anyone. This is between you and me. But I'm just giving the example here as a story time. So I'm with this person, and we're chilling out, and we're standing at Flip Flop restaurant, having our drinks and our good conversation. And the girl, the waitress that this person had fired, walks down the hill towards the beach, all dressed up like she's on the stroll. And he said, "Oh, look, she's back on the streets." And I was like, "Who?" And I waved at her and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And she's like, "Hola." And she didn't even let on. She didn't look at him. She didn't say anything to him. She looked at me and said hi, and she kept it moving. And I'm like, "What do you mean she's back on the streets?" And he's like, "Yeah, she was very rude to me." And I said, "She was very rude to you? What happened? Like, she works at this bar that I know. Like, she doesn't work there any longer?" And this person said, "No, I had her fired." My whole world for about 2 seconds shattered. That's how hard that hit my heart. Like, I just even feel it crying right now too, because this woman is maybe even an undocumented like, maybe she's Haitian, right? But I don't even know if she has a passport, but she's so smart and she speaks so many languages. She's just so beautiful, and she just looks like one of those girls that is like a goddess. She just really has so much going on in her life, and she's so young, and we don't even know what her struggle is at all. We don't even know how much she's making, and now she got fired for telling off one person. Meanwhile, she's like cool to everyone else, right? We cannot allow the way people treat us to get that to us if we are not with them in a relationship, if we are not with them in any long-term capacity. It's hard when it comes to relationships, right? I was dating someone a couple of weeks back, maybe a month back, and that person was so negative that it really affected me big time. Everything. It affected my work. It affected everything. And even just the other day, actually, the other day, I was at a bar, and I was at a bar called Rancho Típico, a great place. Ask for the owner, Peter. I did a video on it. I think I put it up yesterday. So, my gosh, I was there, and this person showed up. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, hey, what's up? Come sit with me." And he came and he sat with me. And, I just, actual tears came to my eyes. I saw a woman kiss him, a Dominican woman kiss him, and in front of me, right? She was taking care, kiss him on the cheek, or she wiped his cheek, or she did something. And tears came to my eyes. Like, I literally sat there and I literally went and wiped the tears that came down my face for him because of what this guy had said about him. So the guy that I was dating just said some really cruel things about this other guy, and it affected me so badly when the guy sat down and I saw that he had love and No one needs to feel sorry for him. I just could remember what that guy said, and my heart broke and tears came down my eyes. Yeah, so I know there's negative people, and people will affect us. They really will. But that person that affected me, I was like chilling with for like over a week and together every single day, right? So I allowed that to get under my skin. But I'm just saying, if you're at a bar and you go and someone serves you in a wrong way and you're not chilling with that person all day long and they're only serving you, get someone else to serve you. And even if they are mighty rude, I'm sure this girl was rude to this guy. I'm sure this girl was rude because she sometimes has an attitude. She's young and sometimes she has an attitude. She's like, yeah, what do you want? When I first met her, she was so pissy. I did not like her at all. But I met her during when everything was closed down and there was only one bar that was serving like drinks when they should not have been. So, and I'm not even going to say the bar's name, but the bar was very gracious to myself and my friends and everything. So we would go there and it wasn't a bar. We would just go there, buy food to go because we could buy food to go, but we would just get a little drink undercover and no one would say anything. Like the bar wouldn't, I don't want to get anyone in trouble. I'm talking too much. We would just bring our drinks and the bar owner wasn't even there, but he just kind of just knew what was going on, right? We would talk while we were getting our food and we would talk a little bit longer than what we needed to just so we could get a little socializing in. She was a waitress there at that time and she was like flirty with the guy I was dating. And I was like, this girl, because she's beautiful, sexy. And in my head, I was like, gee, this girl, who does she think she is? And all that. And it took me a moment to warm up to her, but I certainly wasn't going to complain on her. That's within me. I'm a full grown woman. And if I allow someone to affect me that deeply, that is just a server, and to fire them, then I think that issue is with me, straight up, because I have to look at their lifestyle. If I get angry that they treated me wrong, I'm entitled to that. I'm allowed to get angry if someone treats me wrong, and I'm allowed to speak up about that and everything. But to condemn them and change their life completely is almost like murdering their soul, straight up. So anyway, I still love you. You know that, but and I told you too, we were on the dance floor when my friend told me that he had her fired, and look at her, she's on the stroll again. She's on the streets. And I couldn't believe it. I was just like, and I just looked at him and my whole opinion changed. Not badly, not horribly, but just hurt for him to not think deeply enough about someone else's life, someone else's just someone else's life, like, how they take care of themselves, and this person is not, doing too well all the time themselves. So I think they should have even thought about that a little more deeply. But in any case, when it was a few weeks later, maybe about a month or whatever later, when I was complaining about a waitress from the same spot, and that's when he said to me, get her fired. And I said, no, no. And I said, and the girl that you got fired, because he said, well, I got so and so fired, like I got that other girl fired. I said, yeah, you told me, and I found her a new job as a maid, and she's there. And I'm not trying to brag, but when I found out that she got fired, I was like, this woman needs a job. She needs a job. She speaks different languages. She can cook, she can clean. And you know what? I set her up with a really good person that is really treating her well, and she's making more money there. So you see how good God is? God has now blessed her with a private job. She doesn't have to go to those bars any longer and have to kiss the butts of foreigners, us foreigners that go there and think that we can tell them how to treat us, and they aren't even making much money. These workers, these women, these men, they rely on the tourist tips. And that's what I got to say. We got to stop complaining, and we have to start servicing more. We have to start developing friendships with these people that might serve us with an attitude at times. I don't have time. If someone, listen, this McDonald's with a smile, served with a smile thing is just a little fake. If someone doesn't have a smile when they're serving me, I ask them why. That's how beautiful it is here. I will say, amor, todo bien? Like, that means my love, everything okay? You know? And they're very open here. Dominicans will say, sí, sí. And after they say, sí, you broke the ice with them and they'll say, sí, and you say, okay. Then the next time you see them, you just say, hola, amor. Hello, my love. The next time you see them, give them a little tip. 50 pesos goes such a long way. There's a young girl that she's in school, and she provides a service right here downstairs for topping up my cell phone. And I top up my cell phone there every Sunday before I do my live to air. I didn't top up today because I ordered it from the call model since I'm staying home today and not at the beach. But a couple of weeks ago, I asked her, I said, she had books open. So this is like a little, let me explain where I go chop up my cell phone just because it will be useful information for you guys as well. There's places called Loteca, right? You don't need, if you have Altis or if you have Claro, you don't need to go to Altis or Claro to top up your cell phone. It's the same price and they'll top up your cell phone from any like any corner store, most corner stores. You can even pay your electrical bill there. But this is like a lottery place. This is like a place where it will say lotterio or something like on the outside. People go there to play numbers. I don't know what lottery is like here. I've never really played lottery here. It's you don't get like millions. You get a few thousand pesos and stuff like that. But in any case, I digress. This woman, I went there a couple of weeks ago, and she had books open on her counter in front of, herself. And then she had the glass. And, I said to her, I said, you're studying? And she's like, yeah. And you know what? She's never smiled at me too much. Not at all. For weeks upon weeks, months upon months upon months. I always say, hola, amor. She says, hola. Never hola, like some of the girls, right? And I don't take it personally, but she's, I asked her one day when I saw her books, I said, what are you studying? You're studying? And my Spanish is not good to be able to ask someone if they're studying, what they're studying. I just said, oh, to estudiar? Like, you study? And she's like, sí. And it's que to estudiar, right? Estudie. And she's like, oh, psychology and psychological or something, right? And I was like, oh wow, and I was so impressed. And so now I give her 100 pesos tip. That's $2. Whenever I don't only top up on Sundays, sometimes I'll top up if I'm, out and about doing other things and I want the internet. But a couple of times I topped up from her since then, and I just give her 100 pesos. That's $2, and I tell her, para tea, para two coffee, like cafe, whatever you want to get, because she might want to drink a water or a coffee or pop or whatever she's studying. And I want this young girl to succeed at what she's doing. I want her to know that, her studies are important to foreigners as well. They're really important to her, obviously, in her future, but important to foreigners as well, because she's going to help make this economy stronger, and she's going to help reinforce also the people that are here and their education of the younger ones, because she's the future of tomorrow, I was going to say, but she's tomorrow's future, I guess. Right? And so she is really, a beautiful woman, and she represents a lot of the young girls here. So listen, if there is somebody that doesn't give you proper service, or if there's somebody that is rude to you, let it fly. Or smile at them and ask them, todo bien? That's TODO space BIEN. Bien. Todo bien? And that means everything okay? And then they will respond. Now, at the same time, don't take things personally. Some people here are just more serious, and like they are around the world. And what else? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the whole service thing. I just wanted to share with you guys, when it comes to them being slow, there are ways around it. Tell them, I want 2 drinks. When you see this one getting low, bring my other one over. That's the easiest way to combat that. And then they'll continue to look over. And if they don't and they forget, you can just say to them, Amor, por favor, tu necesito recuerda. Like, por favor, sorry, Amor, my love, you need to remember, bring my other drink over, and then they will. But you will find again at a lot of American Ram places and Canadian Ram places that a lot of the service is like that already. They're already on point like that because those bar owners, restaurant owners have trained their staff to be like that. Um, Another way to get really quick service is the tip big, tip well, tip the same way you would tip if you were back home. Don't just tip them like, whatever, 2% of a bill. If there is, if you spend $10 or something, give them a nice 100 pesos or whatever. Or, I'm pretty sure it's 10% of each bill. I'm not sure, but you might want to ask. And you know who really knows well and who taught me, and now I forget, is Carrie from Zanzibar, the restaurant on the beach. So just go down there and talk to him, and he'll be able to give you like the details on how much you should give for a tip. But aside from that, guys, I just want to say those are the breaks. Give it up, give it up, give it up now. So yeah, I just want to say those are the three things I wanted to share with you. David Rich, second time you were on the moto, you got burned. Richard, I've gotten nothing but good service in the Dominican Republic. Richard, in Santo Domingo. Oh, nice. Maynor, can you do that for me? Do what for you? Sorry, I was talking so much, and now I don't know what point you're asking. Why aren't you at the beach? It's Sunday. Jose. Hey, Jose, I have so much to do, so much work to do today after I get off my live to air that if I go to the beach today, I will just get caught up enjoying myself. And I just can't do that today. So I have to be disciplined. Paradise awaits tomorrow. Latino rap records in La Casa. Cerise, La Rubia Bonita. Oh, gracias. Maynard, when you get a chance, Cerise, please send me info about properties in Cabarete, Rio San Juan, Puerto Plata, Sosua, etc. All right, I'll set you up with two people that I know. Maynard, you can leave me and all the info, real estate agents in my WhatsApp or email, please. WhatsApp me, let me know it's Maynard, and then I will introduce you to two people that I'm working with, one in Sosua, one in Cabarete, and they will be able to send you everything through WhatsApp right there. They will send you listings and photos and stuff of that nature. Can't wait to retire to the Dominican Republic. Favor place. Oh, favorite place that I would love to move is Rio San Juan. Rio San Juan is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Jackie, hey girl. Artie Tech, Amazon, how much worth can you order? 200 without a lot of taxes. You don't want to order over $200. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay tax on the product. And also, you're going to have to also pay for, what's it called? Here, once it gets here, if it's too heavy. So you have to pay for shipping and handling, from America, but then you also have to pay EPS to take it from Miami to bring it here. EPS, CPS, whoever you use to bring it over. And they bring it from Miami and they bring it here. And depending on its weight, you may have to pay a lot. The other day I got a package from Canada and I paid 250 pesos. No, 150 pesos for... No, sorry, 125 pesos, which is like $202.50 for a small package. It was sent to me from Canada, and it had a mascara in it and a flag, a Canadian flag in it. It had a bottle opener in it, like a can opener kind of thing. So it had a tiny little bit of weight to it, but not really. And then a couple of keychains, Canadian keychains, and that was it. And it came up, I don't think $2.50 is expensive to pick up a package, but it was still just like in an envelope. So I was surprised because he had already paid for the delivery from Canada to Miami. So you guys do want to be careful with that. You don't want to over order. Make sure you know how much the weight is, and make sure you contact EPS. If you guys need EPS's phone number, their WhatsApp number, you can connect with them through WhatsApp, and you can even get an account with them before you come here. And they're all legal, above ground. They will use your passport, and they deal with customs. So they are above ground, legal, everything. And you can just contact me at 829-702-7726. Leave me a voice note or text and just say to me, hey, I would like the number for EPS. I will send you their WhatsApp number, and then you contact them and you tell them that you have a package. It's this much weight, that much weight. How much is it going to cost for you to get it received here? Okay, guys. So just make sure you guys really follow that. Otherwise, you can get yourself into some expensive taxes and weight taxes. I know a guy that he ordered a cell phone, and he ordered one that was $199. And he was so happy about it. I thought it was funny too. It was like 100 and something, and then with the accessories and everything, it all came up to $199, just under the 200 mark, where you have to pay extra taxes. So you might want to use that tip as well. Always look for something that is, I guess, less in price. Okay. Latino. Oh, okay, Jay, lack of empathy. That is a big problem in this world. Absolutely, lack of empathy. And I mean, we have to have empathy for people that live here, especially the young ones that are the future. Jackie, what I notice is people who visit DR often are rude to the locals. Karma will get you eventually. We have never had negative experience. Love the Dominican people. Looking forward to renting there. Ah, Jackie, huge hug, sweetheart. Maynor, yes, sir. I love the Dominican Republic and their people. Ah, Peter Medina and La Casa. Great information. Thank you. Latino, I'm from Santiago, Dominican Republic, but I live in Connecticut. Oh, wow. That's really amazing to know. There's a lot of people from the Dominican Republic that are contacting me because they are ready to get back down here and live a life one day in retirement or even sooner. Peter Medina, keep them coming, please. Thank you, Peter. And Latino Rap Record says, I see you have a lot of empathy for others. That's nice. Oh, thank you very much. I really, I do. And, even one of the women here, another foreigner, a Canadian woman, one time we were at Goddess Lounge. And here's another thing. One day we were at Goddess Lounge, and this is in Cabarete, and curfew was 7 o'clock, and it was 6:45, and we had to get home. The guaguas weren't working or anything, and it's about 15 minutes to get back to Sosua on the dot, right? And so I was like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? And she's like, well, she had no clue. So I said, you know what? And there were no cabs either going by. So I saw this one car going, and I could tell that he was a private driver. So I just put my hand out, hailed him over, and I said, how much to Sosua? And he said, 1,000 pesos. He knew it was just before curfew. Usually, 1,000 pesos is 20 bucks. Usually, it would be about 500 pesos, the cheapest. Usually, not, and that's like 10 bucks. So he did double the price. And I was like, and then I knew he was doubling the price. And I said to him, I live here. And he was like, okay, okay. And then I'm like, and I know it's curfew. And I'm like, will you do 500? And he's like, yes, I will do 500. And at that point, I was already decided that he's getting the 1,000. At that point, I'm like, buddy is getting the 1,000, maybe even another 500 more, because his heart was so good and he was sacrificing himself as well. And at this point, it was near the beginning of it all, like of the curfew and everything, getting like back out again. And we didn't even know if taxis could be on the road at that time. People had to have extra passes at a certain time. So he sacrificed himself for 500 pesos. And I was like, no, if anything was to happen to him going back home, then, because he was driving me to Sosua and he didn't live in Sosua, he lived in Cabarete, right? He was just finishing work, going home. So anyway, and he drove all the way to Sosua. So going all the way back to Cabarete, I wouldn't want him to sacrifice all that just for a couple of bucks, So when we were getting out of the car, the cab, my acquaintance, I would never call her a friend. She's not even an acquaintance any longer either. But she looked at me when I gave him the 1,000 and he was going to change it, and I said, no, 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 it's for you. She was like, no, 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 no. He said 500, and I said, I know what he said, and I'm giving him 1,000. I looked at her, I'm like, and I'm giving him 1,000. Like, what's her problem, right? And I said, I know what he said. And then she's like, no, 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 give her back her money, like that. And I'm like, no, he doesn't need to give me back my money. She was like a bully, right? And she should not have done that. She doesn't even speak Spanish. She doesn't even understand the Dominican culture here in the neighborhood where I live. I don't even think she'd be able to survive here the way she goes on at all. Just it was just a nasty, nasty reaction from her, and it was none of her business. And the guy's looking at me, and he's like, he didn't know what he should do. And I said, whose money is it? And he said, yours. And I said, Dios te bendiga. And at that moment, I said, God bless you. And at that moment, he knew that she was just the ignorant foreigner that is not even worth, they call it toquera, I think. Toquera or something like that. Cheat. They go like this. So if you're at a bar somewhere and you give someone a tip and they walk away from you and they look at their coworker and go, they're calling you cheap, straight up. But if they're not, then, and they smile at you and they're like, thank you so much. If you need anything, you just let me know. That means you really tip them nicely. A Dominican will always say to you, thank you so much. If you need anything else, even a Haitian, if you need anything else, please let me know, because they're so thankful for the large tip that you gave them. And it doesn't even have to be large in our kind of mentality, it doesn't even have to be large in that way. But in any case, when that woman did that, she just turned me off. I couldn't even chill with her comfortably again after that. And then she went around town telling a few people that I was trying to buy Dominicans. She said it to a couple of people just over that one situation. And I thought to myself, that's an evil woman. I thought to myself, that's an evil heart right there. And that is when I actually said to her one day when she came back up to me afterwards, a few other things happened. One day I said to her, get away from me, Satan. Straight up. That's how much that turned me off. I looked at her and I said, get away from me, Satan. Please step away. And she went, I know she's not used to those types of words, but I called her Satan right out and out. Noche even looked at her as if to say, go on about yourself, woman. So yeah, she shouldn't have pulled up on me like that when it came to my way of dealing with my life here and my Dominican friends and people who I network. And I don't like when people get mean with Dominicans, cheat with Dominicans, or they don't share with Dominicans, or they expect more, or they think they're being ripped off all the time. And no, we need to really settle down ourselves here. This place is growing a mile a minute. The cost of living is going up. There are things that I can predict just by seeing things change in the last 3 years. Right now it's not a seller's market. For instance, there's people that I know here with beautiful homes, and you would be able to sell those beautiful homes in Canada for probably over 1 million. They're trying to sell them for 300,000 here, and they can't, because it's not a seller's market, it is a buyer's market. But I predict that once the economy starts going up more, and once the cruise ships start happening like how they're supposed to in Puerto Plata, Justin Jeter, shouts out, sweetheart. Justin Jeter messaged me the other day with the article, and he's like, listen, like they're starting the cruise ships in Puerto Plata. It was put on hold for a minute before everything shut down, but they're right back at it now. So, and also Vin Diesel is putting out Vin Diesel is putting out, sorry guys, I backed up a little bit here. I'm on a rocker. Vin Diesel is putting up a theater there, like a studio, acting studio there in Puerto Plata. That's going to up things. And some people, they don't like it. Some people are like, oh, it's going to change the Dominican Republic. It should change the Dominican Republic. People work here for less money, more hours, and we use it as our playground. And I'm so close to so many people here that I'm like, there's just no way. I have to respect and love them the exact same way that I would with people around the world. I mean, and my delivery man from the Colmado, he knows that. My motor conchos, they know that. I don't overpay to like an extravagant amount, but like, put it this way. Let me give you a really good example when it comes to my motor concho, and then you'll understand more. Okay, my moto concho. Moto concho is a person that's a moto taxi. So he will pick me up in the morning, sometimes 9 o'clock, sometimes 11 o'clock, whatever time, sometimes 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Now, once he picks me up, I usually have things to do, and we go out. I do what I have to do. If it's 11:30 in the morning, we will stop for a bite to eat. We'll get, because I know that it's his culture to eat at lunch, and it's now my culture as well. And we'll go somewhere, sometimes Dominican place, sometimes Goddess, sometimes Mojito, sometimes it doesn't matter, fish or wherever, the Malicon, Pedro Clisante, Cheers, Flip Flop. We'll just go all over, Zanzibar, Freddy's, like all over where we eat. And Kalo K, recently Kalo K, Canadian place, she serves some nice hot meals there. So, we go back and forth, but I make sure that we eat at that time, and then we work all day. And then by the time we get home, sometimes it's 5 o'clock at night and in the evening, and I give them 1,000 pesos. Now, this is going to sound cheap, okay? Especially just after I was saying, that we have to treat everyone good, but there's a balance, okay? So I'll give them 1,000 pesos. That's $20 during the day. He gets all his drinks and all his meals. I don't just give him lunch. We also eat afterwards, and he would get all his drinks and everything, anything he wants, in regards to food and drink and stuff. Now, 1,000 pesos, $20. If I'm with him from 9 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock in the morning, he's getting $20. If I'm with him from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock at night, he's getting $20. But if he worked at a bar, he might only get 500 pesos, $10, or maybe not even anything, just working on his tips, right? Or let me keep it real. If he was on the street, on the corner, waiting for someone, he might make 300 pesos that day. That's $6 from 9 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock at night on the corner where he stays, because not everyone wants to take a motor concho on that corner. He's not on a tourist corner. He's on a corner where he doesn't have, and he doesn't speak English, so he doesn't have like foreigner clients. So he's only working with people from his country here, and they know that it's 25 pesos, not 100 pesos from one point to another. You know what I mean? And sometimes they don't have the 25 pesos, so they can't pay it, and they have to pay it another day. Right? So when he's with me, he knows for sure he's getting a flat 20, sometimes even more, like a flat 1,000 for the day, and he's happy with that. He gets to eat, he gets to drink, and he gets to go out with me and network. And we always have a good time. I don't treat him like a driver. I treat him like probably my best friend. He's very well respected by me, but he makes more than what he would make if he wasn't working with me, but he makes very little still in the reality of it all. So I just wanted to give you guys that example. But if I was to give him 2,000 pesos a day, then that is way above and beyond of what is normal here. And then I think he would probably start taking advantage of me and probably think I'm just crazy, But so for instance, with what I pay him, he makes I'll put it this way, if he was to work on his own without me, he makes $200 a month. and his motorcycle payment is $100 a month. Okay, so that gives you an idea. But when he works with me, he makes money every day, and he makes double what he would make on his own. So and he enjoys working with me as well. So, and I enjoy working with him. But I mean, at the end of the day, that is the reality of it. And we have to treat people the way we want to be treated. And we can't just look at service as a way to take advantage of people. Or if someone treats us in a way that we feel they're not treating us properly, that we have to go and get them fired. Like that's not cool. That's when we are not behaving within the standards of, love and understanding and humanity. People are not always going to be good to us. And I'm one of the most sensitive people out there. I can turn into a Cardi B straight up. If someone, for those of you who don't know who Cardi B is, she's an American rapper from the Bronx. And she can get really rude, and she's a little ignorant too. But a little ignorance is cool now and again. But yeah, so I can get some ways about me too. So I just got to say, we all have to just love each other. But the cost is going up here. The cost of living is going up here. Pretty soon, it will be a market that people can come in, buy a home, and flip homes. Do you remember how the market used to be when that whole flipping system started in America and Canada? That's what's going to happen here. And those of you who are experienced when it comes to construction, when it comes to flipping homes, this is a place that you want to come to, and you do want to buy, because there are a lot of people that do want to sell their homes out in the countryside. Maybe because their children have now moved to America, married people from America, and now they're going to be going to America. Or maybe they married people that live here in beautiful villas, or their family moved here in the city. There are so many possibilities to buy and build here. And I would say that, you should really explore your options outside of the main cities. There are a few places that I do have in mind, and they're small little towns, and it's only a small little trip to Sosua in a car, motor concho. You can just go out on the road, and you can also get public bus or even public car. Look at my eyebrows. Oh my gosh. They're right dark. Look, all the skin is peeling off on them. I got them microbladed for those of you who are just tuning in now. So they're still healing. They'll be all right. They'll be brown by the next couple of days. So, yeah, I think when it comes to all that, Dominicans and stuff, and even Haitians, I just want to give you an example too of a service. So I yesterday I just it was raining out. I was supposed to go out, but ended up working from home. I had to wait for my propane to be refilled, and so I asked my friend, who also runs errands for people and stuff, and is also a motor concho. I asked him if he could go run a couple of errands for me, and he did. And when he went to run the errand, he forgot what I wanted, and he went all the way to the place, and he was going to contact me from his cell phone, but he didn't have any minutes. So he had to come all the way back to my apartment and ask me again what the product is that I wanted. And then he had to go all the way back to the store again, and he felt no way about it. He's just like, listen, I'm sorry, forgot I didn't have any internet, but I'll have some, like, once I pay him for going to the store. So he went to the store. He came back again. Now, it's not my fault that he went to the store and forgot and then came back. So I don't need to pay him double, but I did, because he didn't have minutes on his phone, and that means he was broke. And if he didn't have minutes on his phone, then that means that, how is he eating? Like that. That I do know that guy is that broke, and so I gave him 200. I gave him 400 pesos when he came back, and then later on I gave him 50 pesos. That is the equivalent of like $5. No, wait, two, four, five, 450. No, $5. Yeah, I gave him the equivalent of $5. So, no, I'm sorry, guys. I can't believe I'm not remembering. 450 pesos. I mean, $4.50 roughly. And you know what? He would not have made that quickly, at all in that day. And he was not expecting even to make that. He was sleeping when I yelled out my window for him. That's how I yell out for him. He was sleeping and he's like, "Hola." So he was weak and he's very skinny and but he just had a moto accident a few months ago, so of course I'm going to pay him more than what the average person would pay him. But I mean that's just here. And when you guys look at it, you may be like, well, what would I usually pay him for him to just go run one time to the store for me or whatever and come right back? 100 pesos. That's like $2. Most people here in the neighborhood would give him 50 pesos, maybe 25 pesos, like Dominican, right? But I'll give him 100 pesos for a tip because I know that he's going to eat. And I just know that if I ever need anything, he's always going to be there for me. But yesterday when I gave him the 400 pesos plus the 50 after, he was just like, whoa, blown away. He's just like, thank you. Is everything okay? You need anything else? Like, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. You're good too. Okay. Like, we're good. And he's like, oh, thank you. And just so thankful. And, that just does not make me feel good. It makes me feel like I want to give more. It doesn't make me feel like, oh, yeah, I did good. Because I know full well that delivery service in Canada is not going to be just $4, you know? Like, delivery for anything is a lot more, I think, anyway, if you're going to get someone to go all the way to the store for you. I'm not just talking about, like, a restaurant. If I was to order from a restaurant here, delivery is usually 50 pesos to 100 pesos, which is like, like $1 to $2, right? Delivery. But I don't know. I just like that's from a restaurant and stuff. But if you're gonna get someone to deliver to you from, like go to the grocery store for you and get stuff for you. Like yesterday, he got me pineapple. He got me papaya. He got me some chicken. So I mean, he did things for me yesterday as well. And he went back and forth when he didn't get that one product. And then he went back. Anyway, I'm just going off here, just trying to explain to you guys that think before you yell at anyone here because you don't know what they're going through and you don't know what the sacrifices are that they're sacrificing to make a couple of bucks. And you also don't know when the last time was that they ate. And you also don't know when the last time that, they cried, maybe they have fear beyond your wildest dreams, so just always think about other people before you do anything to make them lose their job or, get in trouble, especially if they didn't hurt you. Razor rays. DR is cool. It's just that in certain areas, all the begging can make you not want to walk around. You must wear shades and wear headphones while walking. Laugh out loud. I figured out how to get past that. I think I told you guys before. It's the best way and it's the most beautiful, friendliest way too. You just look and you can make eye contact. I know a lot of people do wear sunglasses just to not make eye contact, and they wear music just so they can block out the vendors. So there's not a lot of beggars here. There's a lot of vendors, people that are selling fruit and vegetables walking up the street. You will find a couple of beggars, a couple, but not as many as you will find vendors. Vendors will be selling you on the street sunglasses, things for your cell phone, whether it's a plug or a case or a screen protector, avocado, mango, just all fruits and vegetables of the season. I mean, there's one girl that I know too, she sells eggs in the morning with mustard and mayonnaise and ketchup that you can pour onto everyone has a hustle. right? There's one girl that I know that begs and she has one eye. She's a blind woman. She's not blind. One of her eyes are blind, and you guys will see her when you come here. You guys probably already know her. She's a beggar, but I have seen her work before, and she gave up on it. Like, she was selling nuts and she was so happy to work, but she was just hustled so much. She's like, why do I need to do this? She was probably making more money begging, instead of hustling. So most people do hustle, though. Most people do have a side hustle, a full hustle. And how do you get rid of them if you don't want to be bothered as you're walking down Pedro Clisante by every single glasses seller, every single avocado seller, sitting on the beach, and you're just minding your business with your friends, your boys, your girls, or whatever, and you're having a couple of drinks, and every single vendor is coming up to you. All you have to say is this: not today, another day. That's it. When you say no, you are putting bad luck on them. A lot of them feel this. They feel you're putting bad luck on their day. A lot of them, if they haven't sold anything all day, they want you to go in and buy even the smallest thing, because they feel like it is a blessing. But when you say no, it's like a stop sign, and it's like just so cold and mean. And it's like, no, 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 I don't want it. Go away. I often see a lot of foreigners go, no, I don't want it. Go. Oh, like they do that. And then a lot of them, when they're eating too, I've experienced it. Trust me. There are times where I'll be eating and someone will go down the street and ask me if I want to buy something, that like food in their basket. So like, for instance, I'll be eating whatever, and someone will go down the street and ask me if I want something, their food in their basket. I'm like, you don't see I'm eating food? But then I know why they're asking. They're not crazy. They're not illogical. They're hungry. And they're like, oh, okay, well, maybe they'll just buy this one pastelito, or maybe like a pastry, or maybe they'll just buy this one mango. A lot of the times as well, if someone is asking you if you want to buy an avocado as you are eating your meal, it's probably because a lot of people love to eat avocados with their meals here. And not all restaurants have an avocado. So like, for instance, if there is a girl or a guy walking by, it's usually young Haitian girls. And if she's walking by and, she has avocado in her basket, you can buy it. And then if you like avocados, you can get the waiter to open it up for you, slice it up, put a little bit of salt on that bad boy, and you're good to go. So it's actually an addition to your plate. You know what I'm saying? So try not to get too upset, but always say, and if they don't speak English, if they do speak English, you just say another day. Another day, do that. Another day. Not today, another day. And then the next day, you say the same thing. Another day. The next day, they're not going to ask you because they know the next day is not going to come. Right? But just be polite to them. Now, if you do say to them, another day in Spanish, you want to say un otro día. Just another day. That's it. And it really does work. And it lets them feel like, okay, you're not just slamming them down and saying no, guys. So please, you do want to be conscious of their jobs here, what they do to stay alive, their livelihood, what they're doing. Some people have to wake up very early in the morning to go stock up on all the fruits that they're going to be selling that day, and vegetables that they're going to be selling that day. And especially near the end of the season, where all of a sudden all of their avocados are old, and and the end of the season's coming, and or they may have, the vegetables are too ripe, or the fruits are too ripe. Like, there's always that. But at least buy a banana from them. If you don't want to buy anything at all, buy a banana from them for like 10 pesos. That's 20 cents. And they're happy with that. And sometimes, I know Steve, there's one guy that comes here, Steve, and he always buys a couple of bananas from them. And he'll say, here, a banana for you and a banana for me. And there's no hurt in that, There's no hurt in that at all. It is beautiful to give to humanity. And it is beautiful sometimes to be stopped. I never know what my beach day is going to present to me. From the moment I enter the beach at Los Charamicos right here in the neighborhood that I live in, and I walk over the beach to El Bate entrance, whatever I'm doing, whether I'm stopping in the middle of the beach or not, it is amazing each day on Playa Sosua. what Playa Sosua has to offer and who I see and what products are being sold and the love that is around there. It's just, it is really amazing. And I just want to encourage you guys to embrace that love, embrace it. Sometimes you'll find some people on the beach that aren't so awesome. But I always say stick with the Dominicans and the Haitians as your backbone. Always. Learn the language. You don't need to, but it doesn't hurt to learn it. I'm still learning it, but I'm very vocal with my Spanish. I don't care if I sound like I have an accent. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. I couldn't give two craps about it. As long as I'm understood and as long as I'm trying, because every single Dominican corrects me when I speak to them, and they will correct me, and they will try very hard to understand. Even in the countryside, even ones that never seen a foreigner before, they still have the fun, loving heart and respect to laugh and giggle and embrace you. I got to say, okay, I go off, don't I go off a lot? Um, Nice seeing you live here today, Maynor. Thank you. You always want to treat people nice so you can get treated as well. Yes, get treated nice as well. King Griff. Sometimes they take advantage. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. But as long as you know how much a price is, and you learn that once you relocate here and you're living here and you know how much prices are, like how when I was taking the cab home during the curfew, and you hustle, and they're like, okay, as everyone knows what the price is on most things. Dominican Republic people are so sweet and nice. My wife is Dominican. Maynor, depends which people you're dealing with. Yes, depends what kind of people you're dealing with. Yes, Latino. How long have you been in DR? 3 years. July 16th. And I'm so excited about it. It's just around the corner, and I'm gonna get my son to introduce my son to question me and everything like that. Maynor says a month is been the longest time I've been there. Latino rap records. Are you Haitian? Nope, I am Canadian, but I'm mixed with black, white, and native. So like Canadian native, we're called Mi'kmaq, and but it's kind of like Mi'kmaq, but people pronounce it Mi'kmaq, and then I have black history in me from Africa. My mom told me East Africa, Sierra Leone, or West Africa, Sierra Leone, and then my white blood comes from Scotland, Mayflower. They went from Scotland over to Nova Scotia. So 3 different races. Maynor, are you asking me that? Oh, Latino rap records. You were. I thought you were asking me if I was Haitian. I really was like, no. Okay. No, I'm not, sir. Okay. CJ says I'm a Canadian from Brampton. Nice to hear. Oh, CJ, yes, Brampton in the house. Hello there. How are you? I'm glad that you're watching this. Hopefully, you are making plans to relocate as well. But you guys got to start making these plans a little bit more. Just a couple of months ago, I made a video on the cost of living. And that same cost of living, it's not possible unless you're probably a single person. Maybe. Maybe it's possible. So, like, maybe it's possible. I don't know. You would have to live really meagerly if you want to live on 1,000 a month here for 2 people. If you're a one person, I would say 1,500 would be a nice for one person. You can do it with 2 people, 1,500, because if your rent is like, 400 a month, and you guys only have like a studio or a 1 bedroom, like for instance, the ideal married couple, retired married couple. They're here. They really just want to be more around the beach. They don't need a big villa. They don't need a luxury villa. They just want something where they feel safe and they feel happy and they feel welcomed. four or 500 a month on rent. Then you're looking at probably about 1,000 pesos. That's $20 for electricity. Then you're looking at about, you know, $20 for your internet if you don't get it already covered. Most places cover the internet, like most Airbnbs and stuff, and most of them are furnished as well. I'm talking about a furnished apartment. And then, but these days, I'm really seeing places like the rent going up to like just as like 600, 650. Like the rent is going up like a lot. But, and I can't do much more hustling with the landlords here. But in any case, let me go back to the budget. 1,500, you could wing it. You could wing it if you're not a person that goes out and does a lot of entertainment. But if you guys like, map out your entertainment really strategically, like for instance, different restaurants that have different deals on certain days. So like Goddess Lounge is 100 pesos, $2 for wings, and like you get 6 wings broken up, so it's like 3 full wings, and then you get like a baked potato and you get really good coleslaw, all for 100 pesos on Wednesdays. And then there's also places where you can go for like karaoke and they're having specials and stuff like that. If you're a couple that likes to go out for a couple of drinks only and you like to eat at home, there's some places that do happy hour and you can get 2 drinks for one price. So you can really budget yourself out that way. I know a lot of places do happy hour. I know Flip Flop does happy hour, and I'm not sure about any other place. But like for instance, Zanzibar, you guys cannot tell who my favorite places are. I keep repeating them, but sorry about that, guys. Zanzibar, for instance, they have 80 pesos Cuba Libres. That's rum and coke. 80 pesos is $1.60, and you get your nice size. And or Santa Libres, and that's like I think 7 Up or Sprite and rum. Right? So, I mean, you really get a good price on your drinks here if you really watch where you're going. They also have bingo here, and they have a lot of good places that you can go and socialize. But if you're a person that needs to watch your budget, then don't go and splurge. Just wait for those restaurants to have their good deals, and you will go there and have a good deal and eat your meal. And then, you'll get to see the menu, and then you can go back and have a special meal once a month or something like that. After you see how much money you are saving or not saving. There are grocery stores that you can go to here that have international products, but if you don't need your international products, then you can just go get them in the regular stores here. The regular markets, they have fruit markets, they have meat markets, they have fish markets, they also have like a fishing port, and they also have bread markets. You can go to these places and you can ask them to deliver to you once a week, and they will set up delivery for you as well. There's like if you are someone who just doesn't go out very often, you don't like to go out very often, that's a very good service for you. Believe it or not, I really don't go out that much. Is what like I am busy, but most of my days are in the house. Like out of 7 days, I go out probably like 3 days a week. And I can stay in the house for like 2, 3 days in a row and not even go out. 4 days in a row, 7 days in a row, and just work from home from the moment I open my eyes until the moment I go to sleep. And I can work a whole entire day from like 5 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night and be busy that whole day at home. Whether it's writing, whether it's talking to you guys, doing consultations, or, even just editing videos. It's always projects. I keep myself very, very busy. So I like being in the house. And when I do go out, it is to socialize. When I go out, I am going out to socialize. I go out for some drinks. Oh my gosh, the other night I went out to that place I told you that I went to, Rancho Tipico. I think I said it earlier in this video. It was so fun, but I don't even remember how I got my butt home. I don't even remember. I remember crying at the table because I was crying for the dude. Oh, my heart. Bless my heart. The guy looks at me and he knew I was crying, right? But I just went, and just wipe those tears away. He didn't even know I was crying for him or what I was. I wasn't crying. I just kind of tears ran down just like that. You wouldn't even know if you weren't looking at me. I was just like, a girl kissed him on his cheek, and I could tell that she, and she wiped his cheek or something, and she was taking care of him. And it really made me feel like, wow, it made me speechless because, I was happy for him. I was happy for him, genuinely happy for him because of what someone else had said to me a few weeks ago about him, right? The person was like, oh, he's probably lonely. He probably blah, 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 blah. And I felt bad for the guy. And then when I saw the guy at Rancho Tipico, I was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, what are you doing in Sosua? And he's like, oh, I moved from area because I was alone. I was all alone. There was nothing out there. So he's not a lonely guy. He realized that there was nothing for him near Playa Dorado or Playa Dorada, and he needed to come here to Sosua. Some people they come to Sosua every day because they realize that this is where the fun really is and the life really is, and you don't need a vehicle and you don't need much here, and you can go get a meal for $2.50, a really big meal that will fill you up for your whole entire day. And you internet's cheap, and it's just a beautiful change. So yeah, I gotta tell you. Anyway, guys, my battery is running out here. I want to see if I'm missing out on any messages here before I let you guys go. And I want to say, oh, right here, Latino, my questions are for Cerise. Yeah, so no, I'm not Haitian, but I am of mixed race. Maynard, I'd like to move to Rio San Juan when I retire. That's my plan. Rio San Juan is beautiful, beautiful. Cloud 60, I'm looking forward to coming down and having you find an apartment for me. Can't wait to see you. Oh, keep up the good work. Thank you. You let me know. Give me a shout on WhatsApp. Maynor, sorry, Latino. I thought you were asking me. Sorry again. That's okay. Money Mike Show. Why you always getting super drunk, Cerise? Because I can. And I love going out. I work very hard and I'm all alone and I don't get super drunk. But the other night I had a good buzz on. And I love enjoying myself and my life. I had my son and my daughter when I was very, very young. My daughter when I was 17 years old. My son when I was 23. Worked like businesses, and I hustled throughout my life. I hustled, and I had somewhat of a tough life at times. So what I do with my life now is really my business. And secondly, I enjoy my life here, and you guys will too. Now, when I'm at home, that is where I am in my element. That is where I do my meditation. That's where I do my juicing. I made a juicing video yesterday that I'm going to be putting up for my fat to fit to 50. Because I'm going to be 50 in December. So I'm doing a fat to fit to 50. And if any of you guys want to join me on that, let me know. But yeah, I did a video on it yesterday. I haven't put the video up yet. But it's like a full body video so you guys can see, I even squeeze my fat on the side so I can measure it and show you guys how much I need to lose and, my goal and everything like that. So yeah, when I'm at home, I am on point. But when I am out, oh my gosh, I am like a little girl in the playground of Sosua. And I'll go from one bar to the next, and I will have a few drinks. And not only that, I mix my drinks. I won't just go and have like a beer all day. I like red wine, but if it's a hot day, when I get to a bar, I may not want red wine right away. I may just want a cold beer, and then I will go to my wine afterwards and sip on that. That causes the worst. Don't mix your drinks in the heat, guys. Just don't. But when I'm out and about, I do love a good dance, and I love a good groove, and I love good company, and I love people that are here to enjoy themselves and not judge other people or have other people fired or, anything of that nature. But I do know a lot of people that do like to come here and have a good time. Money Mike Show. I saw you at Cheers and you couldn't even walk, and the guy you were with was super drunk. That was only one time that that ever happened, and I could probably tell you when that was. Maybe a few months ago, and there was another guy that was here. But no, guy don't hang around drunk people. When I am drinking, to be honest with you, and anybody can vouch for this, when I'm out having drinks, I don't hang around people that drink alcohol and get drunk. People that are out every day, my friends and stuff like that, they'll go out, they will drink water. Most people that I'm sitting at a table with will be drinking water, right? Unless it's my buddy Ken, we'll have a couple of drinks, but no, I don't stagger with people. So whoever you are, you're a hater right now and a troll. Don't put lies out there like that, because my mother watches this, my son watches this, and so does the rest of my family. And I also have a granddaughter. Okay, so you better watch yourself. Do not lie like that. At Cheers, you saw me stumbling out with some guy that was drunk. That happened one time in my life, and I know when it happened. So if that's who you are, then yeah, I will have to agree with you on that. But if you're saying it happens like that all the time, no, it doesn't. You're just being a hater and a troll. And I will not address you any longer. So, white older man with a ponytail you were with. Okay, well, that's that one time. Sorry for cussing you. My Cardi B just came out. Yes, that was that one time. Scott, and he wasn't drunk. He's an American, and he has a little, he wasn't drunk. He wasn't drunk. But he lives here in Los Charamicos, right? We went out and we got on a motorbike together, the two of us on one bike. And you were a white guy with another guy that speaks Spanish or something like that. Is that who you are? I don't know. Unless you were sitting at the bar. But you can't say that that happens all the time. And yes, I'm usually with my Dominican friends. So anyone that knows me knows that. I'm usually with my Dominican friends, or if I'm at a table, it is like, you know, a vlog or what I don't know. It's either Ken. I don't really hang around a lot of people. Ken, Tyson, and whoever I happen to see around. But yeah, people are pretty cool here. And no, you can definitely do what you want to do here, guys. Come here, get your drink on, have some fun, especially if you work as hard as I do, and you are, getting yourself in, in order, and you're trying hard. Make sure you have just as much fun. There's some mornings, like the other morning. Let me see what you said, Mike. Yep, you're right. Good memory. I'm from Argentina, and my friend helped you get into a cab. Oh yeah, oh yes, okay, it was a cab. That's right. That's you. That only happened one time in my life here, and I was getting Scott home safely. Shouts out Scott. Scott is a white dude with a ponytail, American, that actually lives here in Los Charamicos, and he's a fly guy. Scott and I are on a video together, guys, during the quarantine. If you guys go through my videos, you'll see that we got caught by the police during quarantine, and we both have a mask on because we were on a motor concho, and motor concho got a broken tire, and I was not going to be caught on the street after curfew, so I called the police down, and I'm like, police officers, get over here. It's after curfew, and I'm stuck outside. And they were like, don't worry about it, just get on the back. And so you guys will see that video if you look at that video. So that's it. Well, Mike, you were right. Sorry I went all Cardi B on you, sweetheart. But yes, and hello from Argentina. And yes, that day we did get home safely. But I love going out and having a good drink, and I will dance. I will dance to karaoke. If there's music on, I will get up and dance. If you guys don't know that, I love to dance. I can be anywhere, on the beach, walking along the beach, at a table. If a song comes up, I'll dance. I just love dancing, and I love enjoying life because, I've gotten so much behind me, and I have so much beauty in front of me to come. so much wonderful blessings that God has, and so many projects that are put in my lap that, can grow. And it just takes a matter of me fertilizing it with hard work. And so I have no problem with doing that at home 4 days out of the week. So yeah, some days I'll like stay home for a day, go out for a day, stay home for a day, go out for a day. But when I am out, I am at one of my favorite spots, having a drink, having a good meal, or ordering my food to go, because most times I order my food to go because I like to have my meal at home with Noche, my dog, because I like to share with her. And so yeah. But you guys, if you guys are coming on down here for a good drink and karaoke and, a good meal, let me know. My new spots right now are, like, for karaoke is Rancho Típico, and for really good salad and frappe, like a cold coffee, is Fresh Fresh. I'm going to do a video on Fresh Fresh. Maybe tomorrow I'll go out and do it. It's over by CMC Hospital, and it is an international plaza. And oh my gosh, the salad that I ordered there the other day for $6 was amazing. And they have all kinds of different salads. They have all kinds of different coffees. They have all kinds of different, real good, beautiful food. And I really think that you guys should check out Fresh Fresh, because like you can get smoothies and everything there. It's not necessarily a bar, but you can get beer there, and I would really like for you guys to see that place. I'm going to go there tomorrow. I would like to take Noche with me, but I don't think it's dog friendly. I'll ask them tomorrow when I do go. But yeah, I want to go there tomorrow and show you guys. All right, guys, I love you. And let me see. I hear it's cheaper to build a home. I Smoke said, oh, wait. I hear it's cheaper to build a home rather than buy one already built. Is it true? It depends. It really, right now, it's probably cheaper to build. And it really depends on where you're building and how much you bought for the land. I mean, how much you bought the land for, and also how much the labor is. Because right now, the supplies are pretty much at par with the supplies around the world. The supplies are not any cheaper per se here. Okay, and the prices change all the time for the construction supplies. But what is inexpensive here? And my camera's going to cut off, so I want to say bye to you guys now before it does. You guys know I always get cut off. But what's really inexpensive is the work, the workers, the men, the crew. That's where you're going to get a cheaper price in building. Okay, and that's where the cheaper price comes in at. And most people are undocumented Haitians, people, or people that are working here illegally, or people that just kind of came over and they have to risk themselves. I mean, you don't have to pay for their work support. I forget what the thing, protection. Most of them don't even work with goggles. They don't work with helmets. They just work with bare feet, and sometimes sandals, like flip-flops, and a t-shirt and shorts. And they are banging with sledgehammers, rock, and they're doing things that machines would do in Canada. And they're like hanging off buildings, like tall villas, and with rope. And it is very interesting. So you do want to make sure that you understand that when you guys come here to build as well. You really should speak to somebody who is building. I know somebody that I can connect you with. He's also a vlogger, and he can sit down with you and do a consultation and let you know exactly what you're looking at before you even get involved in it, what the prices are on the supplies at that moment, what a crew would cost in order to build a certain home, and with how many rooms, stuff like that. So guys, do your research. But yes, at this moment, I do know of a lot of places that are being built at a cheaper price than homes. One time, there were a lot of homes being built at very cheap prices, but now the price is going up for homes. Let me see. Cerise, you can do what you want with your life, whatever you want. Ignore ignorant people. I found out money, Mike says, I found out about Cheers because of you. One of the waitresses is my girlfriend. Thanks. Wait, you found out about the bar, went there, you found out about the bar from me on my video, and you got yourself a girlfriend? there after? Is that how the storyline goes? Because if that's the storyline, I can tell you who your girlfriend is. 'Cause I know all the girls there. Gee, there we go. See, small world, guys. The Rotson. Hello. Hello, Rotson. Solo traveler. What other places have cheap meals? Okay, this is going to cut out soon, my battery. So that's a very good question. And cheap meals. So, I mean, the only ones that I can really think of are the places that have the daily deals. So you will get deals every now and again, like oh my gosh, Goddess, I gotta say, because it is the cheapest. Confluencia is really, really good. It's so good because you can get a really good price, and that's in Sabaneta. And Cabarete, um, Mojitos always has a really good deal. You can get a sandwich and fries or a salad for like 280 pesos, which is like $4, $5 or something, and really, really beautiful sandwich with a panini and everything. And then again, fresh. They have one in Cabarete and they have one in Sosua. There's a really good Chinese restaurant in Cabarete as well. It is priced very good and it is real authentic Chinese food. Tell the woman I told you about her. She's closed on Wednesdays. Mojito is closed on Tuesdays. So you guys got to know that. And Zanzibar is really good for the amount of food that you get. And it's just really good fresh food. They're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays as it stands right now, though. Flip Flop, he's always having a deal on like throughout the week, like for instance, Taco Tuesdays. Oh, I did a video on his restaurant just recently, about the delivery. So check that out because on there you'll also see like some specials that I flash on the screen. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, he has deals. I'm trying to think of Pedro Clasante, going up Pedro Clasante. You guys could try Mateo's. Mateo's is always a good fresh place. I'm looking at fresh food right now that's not overpriced. Right? I'm not talking about cheap restaurants, but I'm talking about good prices that are economical with good food, freshly cooked and everything like that. Then you also have Mile High, across from Mateo's, along Pedro Clasante. You have Jolly Rogers, and then you also have Jesse's. Write these names down because they're all across from each other, and you guys can just try one each day as you go along. Um, do I know who? Oh, please, cell phone, don't cut out right now. As I got some more messages here. Hey, have a great day too, Jody. LJ, what's up? I love you. Virtual hits. Memon for cheap fish. Oh, yes. Hi, Cerise. I miss Los Charamicos. Oh, thank you. Los Charamicos loves you. Stay hungry. The island tugs at our codependency issues. Virtual hits. Do you know Memon? Yes, I've never been there, but that is where you want to go buy fish and stay hungry. Oh, thank you for the $10 contribution. You know what I'll do with that $10 contribution? I'll do the video tomorrow, the food video at Fresh. I'll buy my salad with the $10. Stay hungry. And yeah, Memon. So you guys go there. If you guys really want to know a good